Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to this webinar. My name is Brian Noble and I'll be your organizer for the session. With me today is Calvin Bota. I have a short video I'd like to play just before handing over to our presenter.
It's freaking flipping load shedding!
Don't leave your customers in the cold. Complete the SANS 1010-6 solar water heating course today and become an accredited solutions provider. Now with a 10% discount. Offer valid 13 to 26 February 2023.
That's it from my side, and I'd like to hand over to our presenter.
Alrighty then, I suppose that's good morning from me to all 30 of you wonderful people out there. My name's Calvin. I'm the technical representation and specifications consultant for Sunridge, and I'm going to do a quick chat about HTP siphonic drainage and take you through a couple of items on it. So Byron, give me a thumbs up if I get started.
Yeah, all good to go.
All right, awesome. So HTP siphonic drainage, a quick introduction to Sunridge, Acatherm, HDPE, and Acocision siphonic drainage and its uses. Again, we'll do a Q&A afterwards, so I'm going to take you through a quick brief one. I'm not going to go super in-depth, but I will be scratching the surface, giving you guys some pros and cons, and while working through the siphonic drainage, just to introduce it to the majority of plumbers. All right, so firstly, Sunridge. Who is Sunridge? And I'm doing this so that you guys are aware of where I'm coming from. But we are an independently owned business taking the plumbing needs to the next level. When I started with Sunridge, we were doing purely the rifing pipe, and currently we are doing a huge host of products. Just to sort of give you some idea, we started with rifing in 2006, bringing it into the country. Then we changed our name in 2019 to Sunridge Importers, and now we are just Sunridge. Cool. We're an importing plumbing wholesaler. We bring plumbing components in from all over the world, and we go to over all the SADC countries. We've got over 10,000 square meters of warehousing, and we've recently grown our specifications team in the last 2 years, so we can start hitting the larger projects and going from the guys that supply rifing and a couple of plumbing odds and ends to the biggest supplier of plumbing components in the country. Well, one of the biggest suppliers. We're pushing the envelope there a bit. So 10,000 square meters of warehousing, over 100 employees. That number is growing steadily every month. Cool. We got branches in Durban, Cape Town, Johannesburg. We distribute to the whole of South Africa. We export to the whole of SADC Africa. If there's anybody who's having a look at this map and you're looking there and you're seeing you're not on the map, let us know. And if we need to, we can start pushing towards you guys there too. We've got a pretty awesome export team. All right, Sunridge as a whole, the products that we do, we've got the plumbing side, which is the Bresca, Breton, Brevet, and Flowfit. Brassware, Sandware, Boris, LeVay, Rifo. Very cool products over there. But I'm mainly going to be focusing on the piping systems, namely the Acatherm and Acocision. All right. So that's just the general basis of who we are as a company and why we're giving this talk. So Sunridge have partnered with Acatherm, which is part of the Aliaxis group. Now, Aliaxis is one of the biggest manufacturers of plumbing components in Europe. So they are the owners of Marley Piping internationally, as well as various other, piping components. But Acatherm is their HDPE branch. And Acatherm is one of the largest suppliers of HDPE into the European market. Now, the European market uses HDPE for most things, unlike us, who we still like to dabble in the PVC. But Acatherm is a company that's based out of the Netherlands. It does over 3 billion euros worth of piping systems into the market every single year. They are not a Mickey Mouse company. They're not to be trifled with. They manufacture under EN 1519, which means that the pipe that they manufacture and the components that they manufacture, the PN 100 as well as the PN 80 systems, all conform to the highest European standard for HDPE piping in the drainage section. If you have a look at the building, they've got their own testing tower. This funny thing that you see in the corner over there, that is a HDPE siphonic testing station. And they're their own tests and constantly improve the research and development and are constantly improving the product that they offer into the market. The reason why we partnered with Acatherm in the HDPE is because the HDPE that they supply, being of the EN 1519 class, is exactly the same as any other drainage HDPE that you will get in, not say any other, the top competitors in HDPE. So if you look under a microscope and you take the product for product, there is no difference in across the range on a molecular level. They are all homogeneous or homogeneous. That being said, the HDPE systems conform to all SABS, JASBIC, and SATIS approvals. And we've got the certification to back that up through ANOR, which is constantly tested and constantly looked at. All right, so the product that we're going to look at is the Ecotherm HDPE. Now, this isn't a water supply HDPE, it is a drainage and soil application HDPE. So this is for your tall building sewer lines, your drainage application, stormwater drainage as well from your rooftop systems, again, ADI-Axis. But the product that I wanted to look at in general is this one over here, the Siphonic Rainwater Drainage by ADI-Axis, which is the Ecocision. Now, if anyone's been looking at the news recently, you can see that South Africa is going through its semi-annual washout, where we are getting so much rain that we don't know what to do with it. And I'm pretty sure in the plumbing industry, you guys are seeing a lot of, call it roof drains that don't work so like it need to be replaced or are, not built to purpose. Some guys that have maybe put in warehousing where the things are huge, but the conventional draining systems are just too cumbersome or not efficient enough to handle the loads that we are getting. Call it global warming, call it planning, call it whatever you want, but the reality is that there needs to be better solutions in the drainage market, especially for stormwater on your high-rise buildings and your large surface area buildings like your warehouses and such, which is why we've got siphonic drainage with the Ecocision. All right. So, siphonic drainage. What is siphonic drainage? It is a system that prevents air from entering downpipes. So, using the full force of water, it allows higher volumes of water to drain more quickly from flat roofs, which means fewer, smaller diameter downpipes are required. And the fewer and the smaller the downpipes, the more efficient the model works, and obviously the more efficient you can be with your system. How does it work? So, the Ecocision siphonic roof drainage sucks water off the roof using powerful hydraulic forces created by water, accelerating down the full height of the building to deliver greater capacity. So in basic language, it sucks, but I am going to go to the not so basic language. Siphonic drainage works on Bernoulli's principle. So if you have a look at this equation that is over here, you don't have to go full blown into the equation because we have a team of designers that understand what P1 plus half PV2 half over 1 PGH equals P2. That's, I want to say it's all Greek to me, but it's kind of Latin and a little bit of Arabic and all those other fun things. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to siphonic applications, we have a team that specializes in the design and supply of siphonic. We obviously ask a couple of questions about the project, and then we will design a system custom suited to the project. So in Bernoulli's equation, it can be summarized as the following. Memorable word equation: static pressure plus dynamic pressure equals total pressure. And I'm sure you guys can read over there, every point is steadily flowing liquid, regardless of the fluid speed at the point. It has its own unique static pressure and dynamic pressure, which is Q, somewhere in this equation. All right. So before I go in at length on siphonic drainage, the big advantage: fewer downpipes, level pipe work, smaller diameter pipes, less groundwork for the building structure, high speed, and self-cleaning. All right, the conventional roof drainage method, obviously you've got many downpipes, gradient pipe work, larger diameters, groundwork in the building structure is along the entire building, not the rooftop of the building. And it's a very low speed, so it takes longer to drain. Okay. So while I'm just looking at this slide over here, these are some projects that Ecocision has done in the past. And once I've gone through these projects, I'm just going to sort of ramble on a bit more about siphonic drainage to give you guys a better understanding of what it is. But if you have a look at the first building, this was for Michael Kors, which is a large brand in the European market. Okay, they had 480 rooftop outlets with 11,480 meters of pipes, and this took 14 weeks to install. Now, if you understand that it is 1,000 square meters of rooftop, that means that Russell will get to the questions at the end of the session, but I see your raised hand and I see the 65 people over here. That's not nerve-wracking at all. Cool. So there is 100,000 square meters of rooftop that is being drained over here. if the rooftop gets a millimeter of rain that is 1 kilogram per square meter, if you've got 100,000 of those, you can see that you've got a considerable amount of weight being put on the building. If you're not able to drain that water off quickly and efficiently, one of two things happens. The buildings, obviously, they're going to start overflowing, your gutters are going to start falling off, and you're going to have an issue on your high rainfall days. All right. The other thing is that 100,000 liters of water then gets pushed to the outside of the building and causes severe erosion. And if I just look outside my house where my gutters have failed, yes, I've got one of those, I can see that it's starting to make a big impact on the surrounding. And obviously, we don't want the foundations to fail, so I've got my guys cleaning the gutters on a regular basis. But water is highly erosive, and containing that and controlling that is very important, obviously, for all applications. The siphonic drainage allows that to happen quickly, effectively, and it can also be retrofitted to most buildings. The fact that you're eliminating large amounts of digging in your civil works means that you're also able to then save a fair amount of money on your time. It's a lot quicker to install as well. There's various different applications and ways to connect your pipes and things, but we also provide a bracketing system to the siphonic drainage system that allows it to handle the pressures and the weights and things. Now, when you have a look at 480 rooftop outlets and the amount of rainwater that this stuff will obviously get rid of, it's you're looking at numbers from, call it 18 liters a second to our larger rooftop drains, which then eliminate, call it 75 liters a second. Now, 75 liters a second, that's 35 bottles of Coke every second. It is huge. It is fast. It is very quick. One of the questions that we often get asked is, if we put a siphonic drainage system, what if we get to a point that we don't need a siphonic drainage system? Well, then it just works as conventional drainage. The chambers won't fill up, it'll just drain out. But when you get to a siphonic system, the speed that it works at is incredible. Now, we are busy building a system in Johannesburg where we'll be able to demonstrate this to the plumbers. And once that's up and running, we'll obviously let people know, and we'll invite people for demonstrations in our warehouse in Johannesburg. And for the guys that aren't in Johannesburg, we'll make a plan. We'll see how things go. But siphonic drainage is a highly effective way of moving water and preventing all sorts of issues in it. So it's an incredibly fast system. Now, I can't exactly say show of hands which plumbers over here have worked with HDPE before, but the system is predominantly working with HDPE. And why we work with HDPE is because HDPE is a very lightweight, very strong, and it doesn't leak because of the butt welding things. To install HDPE systems, if you have a look at this thing over here, we've partnered up with the guys from Rothenberger to bring you the HDPE installation tools. And depending on the sizes that you're going for, generally you're looking at your smaller diameter pipes. We've just done a design where, about 500 square meters of roofing, and it all drains into a 75 mil pipe. It's fantastic. It drains into one of these. So there's a lot of really cool applications. But general tools for HDPE, if you've got the tools for HDPE and you can follow a design, you can install a siphonic system. If you've done HDPE drainage installations before, there is no special training required. All that you need to do is follow the bill of materials that we pull out. And then with that, you're then able to put the system together. As plumbers, you guys are more aware of how to put HDPE together than I am. That being said, it is not a complicated process. It's just follow the diagram, follow the schematic. And being the technical support, we've got a team that is ready to work together with you, that when we're on site, we're there to answer questions and help out. All right. Now, again, this is a very brief overview. I've only taken 13 of the 25 minutes that I've been allocated, which means that we can spend a fair amount of time answering questions. And this is where we're going to get the bulk of the information, I'm assuming. Cool. So thank you. That's all from me. I want to put it this way, that if you guys have any questions outside of this chat, we are always available. Because Sunridge has an extensive specifications team, you can have a look at our number over there, give us a call, and then depending on which region you're in, depends on who will answer. I'm in KZN, so you guys are welcome to give me a shot and give our office a call, and they'll then put you through to whichever relevant specifications consultant it is for your area. And like I said, we've got specs consultants in the entire country, which we basically cover the whole of South Africa. Excellent. And with that, let's go to Q&A.
All right, thank you very much for that. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, to please post any questions you have in the Q&A. I think we'll give it a couple of minutes, Colin, just to see if there are any questions or not, and then we'll go from there.
I'm really hoping they're questions, because if I have to start telling jokes, we're going to have a terrible day. All right, Ryan, there was a hand up from you. Or you still there?
I think just give them like 30 seconds to see any. Because typing it out does take a bit.
No stress. Yeah, 65 guys out there, not one question on HDPE systems or Symphonic systems.
All right, thank you very much, Colin. I think there aren't any questions today from anyone. I think we'll end off the session from there. Oh, we got one.
Hang on, hang on. Whoa, there's a question. Melville, hey, what are the price ranges to obtain the needed tools for the systems? All right, Melville, that is a good question and a hard one to answer without sounding like a chop, but the systems are relatively expensive. We're looking at anywhere between 35 and 50K for the full system, for all the tools required to do this type of work. That being said, if you stretch the tools over the course of your various jobs that you do, it brings the price down, but the tools are quite expensive. However, you can hire the tools from guys like Talisman Tool Hire. I do know that they keep the HDPE welding systems in. So there's butt welded systems that are available across the country at various tool hire places. No, cool, no more questions.
Okay, awesome. We'll give another 30 seconds just to see, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds good. I will say this, that once you've got the HDPE tools, you're able to do, it's the same tool for your high pressure HDPE as it is for your low pressure HDPE. The butt welding tool is the same one that you would use for your PN16 or your P16 pressure rated pipe. So basically, if you're doing any HDPE applications with your butt welding, you can do it. Just that being said, Akasystem has got electrofusion couplings as well. Any way that you need to join this product, you're able to use either electrofusion or butt welding for it. And we do supply electrofusion couplings as well as the tooling for that.
All right. Thank you very much, Colin, for joining us this morning. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. And just a reminder that they will be recording on the LMS system, and that recording will be available from 12 o'clock today in case you missed anything. Is there anything you'd like to add, Colin, just before we end off?
Well, to end off, like I said, we are a full specifications team at Sunridge. So if anybody has good questions or you'd like us to quote on a job, we are considerably cheaper than, I don't want to call it our competitors, but our competitors. We price quite openly in the market. Get hold of Sunridge, get hold of your nearest specifications consultant. We are supplying through all independent stores, so you're able to find our product there. And obviously, we're here to assist. We're here to give you as much service as we possibly can to make sure that you guys, the plumbers, are looked after in the industry. And with that, I think I'll end off. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Colin. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us once again, and have a lovely day.
All right.